Yo, what's good? Episode 1 was obviously alcohol, episode 2 vaping. When I first tried vaping, it was along with alcohol, so obviously amplified because it was together. And then obviously I said I went out my way to get myself a vape, like maybe a little bit less than a week after. So obviously that experience was a little bit different because you didn't have the alcohol like on top of it to amplify it. So obviously the second video was obviously vaping. I just wanted to say that because I didn't exactly specify that in my last video. And then obviously this one, the third one, is going to be about prescribed pills and tablets. I just want to start off by saying I don't know all the ins and outs. I've only took tablets on a few occasions when I have toothaches that are really severe, and one time, which I've already mentioned, but I'll quickly say it again. I had an argument with my girlfriend like 4 years ago, roughly, a lot back when I was a lot less mature, developed, and a lot more emotional. And it was over like a petty argument about like spending time with each other. And then I took somewhere in between 5 to 10 tablets, and I chewed tablets, so I don't like swallow them. So I put the tablets in my mouth and I chewed them. They were fucking disgusting. Um, but yeah, I took the tablets, and that was like a trippy experience. So what I mean is like it was really wobbly. I was hearing voices. Obviously, I took a lot, and it wasn't for any like type of pain. It was just me taking them because, like I said, I was a lot more emotional and like immature. Just done it. Just I don't know. I guess maybe to make my girlfriend feel bad because I was upset or something. Um, because when obviously I took them, I took a video of myself and sent it to my girlfriend, which was obviously really silly. Like I said, it was ages ago, obviously, a lot less mature and stuff like that. But that was a trippy experience. Like I saw like a decapitated head in my toilet, and it was like a woman with like long hair, and it was just like floating there with like hollow eyes and a mouth just like open like that. And seems kind of off topic and random, but I don't know if you've ever played a game called The Forest, but it looked like one of the woman cannibals from that. That's the best way to describe it. I don't know if you've ever seen that, but that's like the best description I can give. But yeah, that was like a more of a trippy experience. Then I heard like whispering and some voices, and I was like crying a lot. But other than that, the only time I've took prescribed pills is on the very rare occasion of obviously a toothache, which I may get like once a year or every other year, once or twice every other year. So it's very rare. And I try and long out as much as I can before I take tablets because I have a certain view on them. I have done a video before where I've said pay attention to your body, which was literally when I had a toothache, and then I uploaded that video because of how I was feeling. So I've already given like some of my points of view to do with tablets and pills and stuff. But obviously I'm going to briefly go over that in this video as well if you haven't seen that, because that was like 10 months ago or something, that video. But yeah, I try and long out as much as I can before taking pills. Like I'll do like my routine. So obviously now I have a routine, but I haven't always had it. So sometimes when I had a toothache, I would go out my way to meditate, or I'd go out my way and use my crystals, or maybe try and read or try and write. But obviously now I already do them things naturally because it's a part of my routine. Because obviously my routine has changed and like developed. But at the moment it's been the same for a while. But I felt like getting sidetracked or anything. I would meditate, that would help, but obviously as soon as I'd like stop meditating, it would just come back, and it's not like I can meditate or sleep all day. So after like a day, like one time, this is like probably the worst time I had a toothache. After a day, I tried to hang out some more because I managed to get sleep the first night because I meditated, and that allowed me to get a bit sleepy, and I got to sleep through that. And then the next day that was not happening, so I ended up giving in and taking 2 tablets. But I'll try and find the picture because I still have the picture. My chin was fucking massive, and my jaw was like swollen because it was something to do with my gum, but obviously it was hurting my tooth. And like it was literally swollen. This was like years ago. This was like before I was bald, so like 3 years ago or something. But it's the worst one I've had. And when I take tablets, I feel really mellow. I feel like I've used that word for when I had alcohol and vaping, but what I mean is a different type. It's like my whole body's mellow. Like when I turn my head really fast, it feels like slow motion, like ooh, like that. But it also feels like there's water like inside my head. Say if you've got a cup, right, and you shake it, the water's gonna move or spill out. If I go like that, it feels like I'm underwater and it's like this. That's what my whole body feels like, and my head feels really light but also heavy. It's like a big contrast. It's like it feels really light but also feels really heavy. It feels really fast but also feels really slow, and it's the same for my whole body. And it's like one time I took him for a toothache and I went gym and I was walking and my legs were like, it felt like this, like slow motion. It felt really weird and I was like stumbling a bit. And it's like, obviously these things help you because obviously it numbs the pain, and I understand that feeling does feel nice, obviously feeling like that, because I sleep like a baby when I take tablets, right? And who doesn't want to have a good night of sleep, you know what I mean? So it's like taking that will obviously help that, and you feel nice, but you gotta think of the side effects, right? It rewires your body and your brain to do something to where it actually numbs that pain, right? So it's like you gotta think, what are the like side effects? With me, it obviously makes me feel like that, which feels good, but then sometimes it kind of like, it makes my belly like really like heavy and like swirly. Like, you know when you drink a lot of water and you move your belly and you can feel like the water moving your stomach, it feels like that from the tablet. I don't know if it's like amplified because I chew my tablets, like I said, I can't swallow them. So maybe it's a bit different because of having to digest it differently where I actually chew it. But it makes my belly feel really like solid, but then like really watery. It's another contrast thing. And it doesn't make me feel sick, but I can tell there's something different with my body, like in my stomach. But it's like, you all think of the consequences, because at the end of the day, with the hospital, the doctors and NHS, a lot of people are just like gullible. They're like, well, yeah, they help save lives and stuff, so of course I'm going to take a tablet, you know what I mean? It's literally legal. How can it be bad? But that's where they get you. At the end of the day, they see like our health as a business, you know what I mean? If they give you a tablet which numbs the pain and you feel good, you're going to like that feeling, right? And then when you go back to normal, you're going to be like, oh my God, I felt so much better. I was able to maybe do some more stuff because it got rid of my lower back pain or whatever, you know what I mean? So you're going to take that tablet again, and then the more and more you take it, the more and more accustomed you get to it, and the more you go back to being normal, as in you're not on any tablets or anything, it feels a lot worse. You know what I mean? It's like, imagine you being really, really, really warm, the heating's on, you've got layers on, and you go outside and it's raining. You're going to think it's a lot more colder because of how warm it was. But say if you was already a bit cold and you went out, it wouldn't be as cold. That's just an analogy from like my opinion and my experience. Like when I have a hoodie on and I'm indoors and it's warm and I step outside, it feels a lot colder compared to if I went outside with a vest and my heating wasn't on indoors, and maybe the back door was open and it was already a bit chilly. You know what I mean? So it's like you kind of get accustomed to it, and then obviously that feeling where you feel good, you keep on taking it. And that's where the problem is because you're taking something external before trying anything else. People with lower back pain, some people don't even try and stretch or do any yoga or exercise or anything before taking tablets, you know what I mean? And they take tablets because it's like a normal thing, you know what I mean? It's what a lot of people do. And especially if their parents or their family used to do it, because obviously different generations, you know what I mean? And stuff like that. It's like my mum, she takes tablets for anxiety, depression. My stepdad takes some for like arthritis. My nan takes them for lower back pain. My girlfriend takes them sometimes. Like she isn't like prescribed them or anything, but she sometimes takes them if she gets a headache. But I mean, like my family, like my stepdad, my mum and my nan are actually prescribed, so they get them like monthly or weekly. I'm not sure if you have to pay, because obviously I said about it being a business. Because obviously, I'm not sure if they actually had to go to the counter and pay, or if it's like free because of a certain condition or whatever. But what I mean is, in general, they treat it as a business, because when you're coming back, right, they're getting money. So it's kind of like you're a customer. If no one was getting sick or ill or had any pains, right, we wouldn't need any doctors or anything. And you're probably thinking, well, that's a natural thing to get ill or sick. The only reason it's a natural thing is because of the things that are around us, the things that pollute our body, our mind, the things that condition us to feel a certain way, which can make us ill. There's certain things that you can do to help improve your immune system. You know what I mean? Like sleeping well, that increases your immune system. But when you have like worse sleep, you've got more chance of getting ill or sick or whatever you like to call it. You know what I mean? And it's like a lot of people, I understand the feeling, because I feel really like chilled out and I can sleep like a baby, and I just feel really like loose and just like kind of no control over my body. And it feels really nice. Like I said, I understand it, but you gotta think that's external. I understand if you were trying something like maybe meditation, trying to stretch, or trying to help something for the reason why you're taking obviously these tablets. If you're taking it for lower back pain, have you tried exercises or certain movements like yoga? Or have you tried actually sitting up straight and maybe meditating like that with your back up straight for 10 minutes? Have you actually tried stretching to help your back pain? Or was the first thing you thought of is going to take some tablets? You know what I mean? It's something external for something from you. You know what I mean? It's literally not natural. If I said list the ingredients in the tablets you're taking, you wouldn't even know. And that's another whole story. You don't even know what you're actually putting in your body. And that's what can cause some of these side effects. Obviously, people react differently to it. And obviously, there's different levels to it. Because when I had a toothache, that shit was painful. And I eventually gave in. Because it's like, fucking hell. That was actually like really hard for me to try and not take any tablets. Like I actually had to give in. And it was my choice. You could have maybe said there was a little chance that I could have continued, but I was a little bitch and gave in. So I understand there's times where you may have to or feel like you have to take some tablets, but that doesn't mean that should be your first instinct. But with the actual feelings I had, obviously that one time 4 years ago, I felt like really trippy. The worst toothache I had, it was like 3-4 years ago. That actually helped because it numbed it, and then the next day it went. And then when I went to the bathroom in the mirror the next day, I was looking at my gums and I went like this with my teeth, my lips, and then I looked here and then it literally popped the thing that was on my gum and it started bleeding. And I was on the phone to my best friend and it literally, I felt it like go down, you know, like if you pop the balloon or a bouncy castle or something, it went like that. And that's literally how my chin felt, and I felt so relieved, so fucking relieved. But I've had toothaches since. I had one like, I don't think I've had one this year, to be honest. I've had one last year though, and that's obviously when I done my video on YouTube. And I felt really chilled out, felt really mellow. Obviously that's the most recent one, so it's the most memorable, I guess you could say. Obviously along with the most excruciating painful one. But yeah, it just makes you feel really chilled out, really mellow. And that's just like my experience with tablets and just some of my thoughts and opinions. Fair enough if you want to take it because the pain is really, really hard to bear. But try and do other things first, you know what I mean? Like meditation can help. If you've got anxiety or nervousness, because the reason why I do this when I say anxiety and depression is because depression is just being sad, it's just labelized, and anxiety is just being nervous, it's just a label for it. So if you're feeling nervous, dive deeper into it and think why you're nervous, and actually sit with yourself and think, why do you have these nervous thoughts? What are you nervous about? And how can you actually fix it other than keep on going to a coping mechanism of tablets? What if you have no tablets one day? What if you can't get any prescriptions? You know what I mean? You're going to be so accustomed to it that it's going to be worse. Because if you take these tablets to help your anxiety or whatever, it's going to, like, obviously, like I said, you're going to get accustomed to it. So then when you don't, it's going to hit you hard and you're going to be like, oh my God, I need the tablets. What am I going to do? I can't go outside. I'm scared to see people. Oh my God. You're going to panic more. You know what I mean? So try and build a relationship with yourself and actually think and sit down with yourself and actually think, what is the problem and how can I help myself with myself? Like meditation is to do with you. You don't need to go and do anything else. You don't need music. You can just sit there in silence. You know what I mean? There's different ways of meditation. Stretching, you can go and do different stretches and look up on YouTube and stretch with your own body. If the problem's to do with your body, try and help yourself with your own body instead of going out and trying to do something or get something external to help something internal. You know what I mean? But that's just my thoughts and opinions and my experience with prescribed pills. Like I said, I don't know all the ins and outs. I only know some stuff because of my family. I know like they're legal, or most of them are legal, but they still alter your mind and your actions at the end of the day, and especially from my personal experience. But yeah, that's today's video. I'm not sure what the next video is going to be, but I'll catch you lot in the next one.